Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Today, me and my group members from Group 7 will present to you about our product. We came out with the idea of making menstrual cycle tracking apps that will assist users in observing their menstrual cycle and related signs and symptoms, as well as managing their health. We named it as Menina apps. The word Menina is come from Portuguese language, which means girls. We create this application in hopes that the application can make things easier for women to track and calculate their menstrual cycle. Not only track and calculate their menstrual cycle, but also the platform for them to gain knowledge about menstruation. It is interesting, right? So, let's know more about Menina apps.
Menstruation is a taboo topic in our society. There are cultural norms and religious menstruation taboos, which it is believed to be related to the traditional associations with evil spirits, and a shameful and embracing topic since it is related to the sexual reproduction. This belief also sometimes resulted to the extreme result, such as the female good casting out during period because of the so-called impurity during menstruation. This leads menstruation to be an embracing topic to talk about openly. This resulting to a lack of knowledge about it among the female adolescents, with they surely face significant challenges in managing their menstruation, including practical and hygiene management, especially those who have just menstruated.
So, to whom Menina is for? Menina is developed primarily for women and girls. Every girl faces different period problems. For example, it can be about their menstrual cycle, irregular periods, premenstrual syndrome, menstrual flow, and diseases that can be caused by poor hygiene management during menstruation are some common menstrual problems. It can be hard for them to find info and solutions about their menstrual problems online, as our society thinks that is a taboo topic to be shared publicly. Next, Menina is big for the period beginners. Young girls who just hit their puberty must have no idea on how to adapt to the new changes that happen to them physically and emotionally. Therefore, Menina is a great companion for them.
After that, the creation of Menina apps also to women who is anxious during menstruation regarding hygiene, body, menstruation cycle, and emotional state. This application will help them on how to deal with premenstrual syndrome. Lastly, for girls and women are encouraged to install and apply this application in their mobile phone, especially for those who have very less or no knowledge regarding menstruation matter. Thus, this application will help them to get more understanding about menstruation cycle.
So, for those people, it is a good solution to create a medium for them to gain knowledge regarding the menstruation matters, which is Menina application. Menina application surely will help females, especially female adolescents, since they are not able to talk about menstruation when they have no or less knowledge about it. We consider the topic is taboo. As we know, nowadays, the internet is the best medium to learn something. Thus, it is the most effective way to launch something there to make the best use of it, which is launching an application for global use. This application specializing in menstruation and putting almost all information about it in the application. Menina apps is a good innovation that makes people easier to search, become more knowledgeable, and most important of all, it can be done in private.
Next, as stated in this slide, we will continue the presentation with the reason why people need the apps. The reason will mainly be because we want to share a medium with young girls out there to explore more about menstrual cycle. Not everyone is lucky enough to be exposed to menstruation and its cycle. Therefore, this app is mainly for every girl to know more about what happened to their body every month, so they won't be afraid and ashamed about it anymore. We also provide flashcards and games for them to learn about menstruation in a more exciting way. This, on the other hand, will make them feel more excited to learn about menstruation and be brave about it. We believe interactive virtual learning will help to enhance practical abilities and creates a long-term memories.
Menstruation taboo is a form of misogyny. Negative taboos condition us to understand menstrual function as something to be hidden, something shameful, and by not naming a thing, we reinforce the idea that the thing should not be named. There are many cultural aspects surrounding how societies view menstruation. A menstrual taboo is any social taboo concerned with menstruation. In some societies, it involves menstruation being perceived as unclean or embarrassing, inhibiting even the mention of menstruation, whether in public, including the media and advertising, or in private, such as among friends, in the household, or with men. Menstrual taboo, including stigmatization and marginalization, is still happening even in the 21st century, but not as serious as back in our grandparents' day. So, we want our application to contribute in spreading awareness regarding menstruation, to open the eye of our community that menstruation is not something to be ashamed of. Instead, it is a precious natural cycle in women's body. Instead of stigmatizing, our application also emphasizes the need of menstruation knowledge for every woman.
Next, these are the evidence that we have as our references during the brainstorming process in the making of Menina application. Firstly, we refer the article about 5 women talk about their first period and what they wish they known back then by Aini Nizami. In this article, the author was interviewed 5 women about their experience regarding their first period. From the interview session, the author had collected some points as follows: a taboo rooted in our culture, talk about menstruation, the awkward period talk, stigma around period stain, and period shaming. These points were useful to help us to give awareness towards people regarding period issues.
We also referred to the article entitled How Did Menstruation Become Taboo? Written by Anna Dredd to be one of our pieces of evidence. Through the article, we may know the reason on why and how menstrual issues can become a taboo based on the theories and historical aspects. The writers mentioned that the creation of menstrual taboos took place independently and repeatedly across various places. However, scholars do not agree about why, and it is still debated until now. Dredd also referred to the Professor Chris Knight, a social anthropologist at London University. He believes that the original menstrual taboos were born of female-led and female-advantaging behaviors in early humans. For example, females themselves had good reason to establish menstruation as a time when their bodies could not be touched, creating their own taboo. Only later that this taboo transformed into something that compromised female autonomy rather than enhance it. Despite all that, we may never know how exactly menstrual taboos were established.
Besides that, we also use the article from Carl R. and others, and the topic of article is menstrual hygiene management and waste disposal practices and challenges faced by girls or women of developing countries. We choose this article because it stories about how women manage menstruation differently when they are at home or outside, and to avoid them from dispose of menstrual product in domestic waste and in public toilet, and they flush them in the toilet without knowing the consequence of choking. It also shows us about correct knowledge, because inaccurate or incomplete knowledge about menstruation is a great hindrance in the parts of personal and menstrual hygiene management.
Last but not least, Menina is every girl's real company. Thank you.